Before this day, Earth had never missed a single rotation in more than 4 billion years. Then, everything changed.
Billions of people woke up, believing it would be just another ordinary morning. Nobody looked up. Nobody noticed. The impossible was only seconds away. Then, without warning, the Earth stopped. At the equator, everything was still moving at over 1,1600 kilometers per hour. In less than 1 second, civilization would experience the greatest disaster in human history. The atmosphere refused to stop. Refused to stop. Winds, faster than the speed of sound, would erase entire cities. Oceans would no longer belong to the coast. And this was only the first minute. But the destruction had only just begun. The oceans were no longer where they belonged. Entire continents disappeared beneath walls of water. Millions had nowhere to run. And then, the wind arrived, faster than any storm in history. The atmosphere never stopped moving. Humanity was trapped inside a planet-sized hurricane. But even after the oceans and the winds, another silent killer was waiting. Within minutes, the world fell into an eerie silence. The first wave of destruction had passed, but survival had only just begun. Across the globe, power grids collapsed. Communications went dark. Humanity was suddenly disconnected. Air travel became impossible. Navigation systems failed. Every journey turned into a gamble. Even the oceans were no longer predictable. New coastlines began to emerge. And as humanity searched for answers, one terrifying question echoed across the planet. Could Earth ever spin again? Scientists quickly realized this was no ordinary disaster. Earth itself had become a completely different world. The planet was still orbiting the sun, but it was no longer rotating beneath it. Days would no longer exist. Neither would nights, as humanity had always known them. Temperatures began to drift toward impossible extremes.
Between fire and ice, only a narrow band of Earth might still remain alive.
Humanity discovered one final refuge, a narrow ring between eternal day and endless night. Entire nations abandoned their borders. Survival became humanity's only language. The old world was gone. A new civilization had to be built from nothing. But one question refused to disappear. Could Earth ever spin again? If the impossible had already happened, perhaps the impossible could happen again. Every surviving nation united behind a single mission: restart the Earth. Their solution sounded impossible. Build the largest engines ever imagined. Millions watched the countdown, knowing failure meant extinction. 3, 2, 1. Ignite! For one long moment, nothing happened. Then, every sensor on Earth changed. Days turned into weeks. The violence slowly faded. But the planet would never be the same again.
Humanity stopped asking, how do we fix Earth? And started asking, how do we survive on it?
The stars became brighter than ever. Not because the universe changed, but because humanity finally looked up.
Earth had stopped spinning,
But life.
refused to stop.
Perhaps survival was never about saving the planet. It was about changing ourselves. Earth had survived asteroid impacts, ice ages, mass extinctions, and now, us. The planet never needed saving. It was always stronger than civilization. Perhaps the greatest lesson was never about physics. It was about humility.
Every sunrise, every breath, every ordinary day.
Because in the end, the most valuable thing on Earth was never the planet, it was time. We searched for a way to restart the Earth. Instead, we restarted ourselves. The universe did not promise that life would be easy, only that it would be precious. And maybe the greatest question was never, what if Earth stopped spinning? Perhaps the real question is what we would become if it did. 0 Point, where impossible questions meet scientific imagination. See you in the next journey.